Ready. Hello, everyone. We're back again on a beautiful day in Seattle, Washington. I have a few words, just a few words. Never regret a day in your life. Good days give you happiness. Bad days give you experience. Worst days give you lessons. And the best days gives you memories. Anything else would give you heartburn. So, as I keep saying all the time, enjoy life, make the best of life, and just, as the song says, just be happy. And talk about happy, here's my wonderful happy rabbi for you.
Nice to speak again. Perashat this week is a very unique, special Tetzaveh. And this is a continuation after Truma. Once there were all the donation from the heart given by the people of Israel, to the point that later we know that Moshe Rabbeinu said there was so much that he had to announce publicly that it's enough, we don't need any more. The objective was achieved, and it was so great. Now the Torah speaks about the garment of the Kohen Gadol, especially, Istad. First is by the light of the menorah. What you need, the fuel to light the menorah, and that's what begins Tetzaveh. So there are certain things in the Torah we can see that it commands us to do them permanently. And we are used to know in the synagogue what represent part of the sanctuary and the temple, which is the Ner Tamid. There is a light there constantly lit up. Why? Because originally, when you had to light the menorah, you lit up, the Kohen Gadol lit up the menorah from a fire that was constant there. And there is another one that it is constancy as well, which is the korbanot. The Torah said, "Keves echad ta'aseh b'boker v'keves hasheni ta'aseh ben arba'im." You have to bring the public offering. It was a burnt offering that was offered up during the day and during the afternoon. And so that was constantly every day of the year. So there is some things that the Torah is particular, it has to be constancy in them. There is another one that is mentioned in this parasha, which is like this. The Torah said, "V'nasa Aharon et mishpat bnei Yisrael al libo lifnei Hashem tamid." That means that an Aaron shall bear the judgment of the children of Israel on his heart constantly before God. It's very interesting that is a reference to the Choshen HaMishpat. And that means that you have a breastplate in here. It has all the 12 tribes in there, each one in each stone, 12 stone representing each tribe. And it was so important, each one of them, that was from the breastplate, he would decide judgment, he would make judgment and so on. And it was Aaron. The question is really something like judgment. I don't think that is the essence of Aaron. You know, if we were talking about judgment, the one who should have something to do with judgment would have been Moshe Rabbeinu. He received the Torah, he adjudicated it, but not Aaron. Aaron, we said, a man of peace, Ohev Shalom, Verodev Shalom, is compromising many things, you know, to make the most of it. So why is it that the Torah speak of Aharon to have in his heart in judgment? And that's one of and what is it anyway? The essence of having the breastplate in there in his heart and his judgment. What was there is they tell us in the Torah the story of Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu, when God wanted to appoint him to be the the liberator of the Jewish people from Egypt, bring them to freedom. And he immediately, God asked him, he said, I am going to appoint you, you are going to go, and you are going to speak to Pharaoh, and you are going to ask him to let my people go. And you are going to be the one who is going to do that. And Moshe Rabbeinu said, he was hesitant because he was not committed, and what the way that he could get out of it. He said, I have an older brother who is a great leader. Then why don't you, if you appoint me, I am the youngest one, you're going to be upset, young one. God said to him, don't worry. He said, your brother, even though he's older, he's going to be happy to know that you, the younger brother, is being selected to do such a job, such a mission to have. And in fact, God said to him that Aharon achicha alohu, he said, he's going, he's going to see, and he's going to be rejoiceful in his heart. And what is it? What is it? The heart. So in the Talmud it says that because he rejoiced for his brother, he was deserving to have the breastplate, the Choshen HaMishpat. And what is the Choshen HaMishpat? Is a combination of two words. Because what happened is, why it was in the heart more than anything else, and that where he wore it, because actually, when you adjudicate the law, justice, like Moshe Rabbeinu, it need to be, but justice has another component which is the most important, and that component is the heart. It has to feel good, like you feel good in your heart, to be a proper judgment. You cannot be, in fact, our rabbi said many times, he said, why were they punished, the people of Israel, in a certain way? Because she'emidu divrehem al divrei hadin, meaning that they did everything on judgment, without considering the kindness aspect of it. The question is, when you adjudicate something, does it feel good? You have to know that. Does it feel the judgment good, proper? Are you considering the pain, the consequences, the difficulty that the person has got? So therefore, this is a combination. That's why it's called Choshen Mishpat. The Netziv, the great Netziv, he said that the word Choshen, which is, many try to understand and to explain, he said Choshen means, come from the word Chash. Chash means that you feel, you have to feel, meaning if you make a judgment, it has to feel good, that the judgment is not just judgment without any care. You have to, and that's what Aharon had. And that is another aspect of judgment, which is it has to feel good. And that's why Aharon was the one, because Aharon really, when he even his brother was appointed to be the leader and the liberator, he was happy for him. You have to be happy for other people. In the same way with judgment. Even judgment, when you have to adjudicate, you have to feel good and you have to feel happy. In the same thing, what we say, God does that, in fact. When he says, Hashem bara Elohim, Hashem bara Elohim, that means, Elohim means midat adin, the attribute of judgment. He put together with the attribute of judgment to create this world with the attribute of mercy as well. It has to feel good. And so therefore, this is the combination of that. That's why the Choshen HaMishpat, that the Mishpat, the judgment, should feel good and right, because a judge, yes, has to be tested in that respect, that he consider everything, and therefore judgment is combined with the heart. Shabbat Shalom.